Well, good evening, sports fans, and welcome to K-West, another exciting installment of high school football. Tonight, it is your Weslaco Panthers taking on the San Benito Greyhounds. We are live at Bobby Morrow Stadium in San Benito, Texas. I am Joe Aguilar, joined by none other than the coach, John Boswell.
Well, Joe, it's good to see the Panthers go up here, coming off two big wins the last 2 weeks over Rivera and over Harlingen South on the road in a big comeback win there. And see how they fare up here against the number one team in District 32 6A, and many feel the best team in the Valley.
Yeah, there's a lot of people talking about how this is probably the best team in the Valley, and we're talking about the San Benito Greyhounds. They are undefeated on the season, and they've put up a lot of points week in and week out.
Yeah, a lot of points, play real solid defense. They got a veteran team back. They're still one of the couple of high schools with one per town that's still going on in the Valley. They got some fine coaches, and they got a really good set of players in Harper and Retta, amongst others. Joe, Weslaco won the toss and deferred, and will kick off going from right to left to San Benito. So San Benito will start off on offense.
Yeah, we'll see that high-powered offense that Retta commands so very well. Of course, Retta, a starting quarterback from last year's team that went pretty deep in the playoffs. So he's got a good group of people around him. And, of course, he is a force to be reckoned with anytime the ball is in his hands.
And I guarantee you the Panthers have spent all week knowing where number 5 and number 4 are when San Benito has the ball.
Yeah, they got to keep an eye on those two guys, as you mentioned earlier. He is something else. That is Tyrone Harper, and I'm pretty sure he'll be getting a majority of the handoffs tonight. As you mentioned, just a little while, Coach, the Panthers did win the toss, and they did defer for the second half, so they will be kicking off. And, of course, kicking off for them is going to be Francisco Moreno.
Yeah, Francisco's been kicking the ball real well for the Panthers. Starting to get the ball into the end zone. Let's see how he does tonight.
Well, we are set for kickoff. The referee has just blown the whistle. Francisco looking everybody over. And we are now officially underway. It's a very good kickoff, and it's going to be taken at about the 7-yard line. And he's looking for some running room, Isaiah Trevino is, and he's knocked down quickly. Good job there by the coverage team of Weslaco to bring him down quickly.
Yeah, I think that was Raul Camarena bringing him down real quickly. Good starting position to play defense here for Coach Haskell Buff and his defense. Let's see what we have here early from San Benito.
Well, San Benito is going to start their first offensive series of the night at their own 16-yard line. And here comes Eric Retta and his crew. Eric looks like he's going to line up with no backs in the backfield. We'll see where Tyrone sets up at. Now he's going to get back into the backfield along with the quarterback, Eric Retta, and 3 receivers to his right, and he's going to have one in motion. And there we go. It's going to be a jet sweep for the Greyhounds, and the guy that just returned the kickoff, Isaiah Trevino, takes the first handoff from the quarterback, Eric Retta.
Yeah, number 11 comes across in motion, gets the speed sweep. Lead blocker was Tyrone Harper. He didn't really do anything. 11 made a nice move. What did he make, Joe, about 5?
Yeah, you can give him 5 because they're spotted at the 21. They'll bring up a second down and 5. Tyrone with the handoff. He's hit behind the line of scrimmage, and the ball is loose. We'll wait to see what the referees say if he was down, but he's going to lose about 3 yards on that play.
Yeah, I think they called him down on contact, but Roy Trevino, number 2, does a good job of shooting across there, making the tackle. Now, one thing I'm seeing, Joe, is the Panthers usually play 4 down linemen. They're playing with 3 right now.
Retta fakes the handoff to Tyrone, going to hit it. Isaiah Trevino out on the left, quick hitch, and he's going to bring it out to about the 27-yard line. That's going to be shy of the first down. I'm sorry, it's going to be a first down because they started off to 16.
Right.
So that's going to be a first down for the Greyhounds. Good job of eluding the first tackler by Isaiah Trevino there.
And San Benito seems to be in the hurry up now.
So here we go. 3 receivers to his right. They're going to hand it off to Tyrone Harper. Harper right behind the right guard is going to get out to about the 30-yard line for a gain of about 3 yards.
Yeah, good job by the interior of the Panthers. 94 is Jesse Ramos. And, of course, that guy number 13, Marco Noriega, who's played big for the Panthers all year.
Yeah, he has been. We've called his name out quite a bunch this season. Isaiah Trevino in motion. They're going to fake the handoff to him. And coming across the other way is Tyrone Harper. He's across the 30, 35 to about the 39-yard line where he's finally met by about 3 or 4 Panthers, and they bring him down.
You know, San Benito has a lot of talent on offense, but when they get you chasing one way and hand the other way to a guy like Tyrone Harper, that's a big deal. That tackle, though, run down by Benito Juarez, number 48.
Yeah, they're going to spot him at the 40-yard line. So here you go, Reta with two running backs in the backfield, Trevino and Harper. Now they're going to motion out to the right side of the field. Reta back. He throws the ball in the direction of Trevino. Great over-the-shoulder catch, and he's brought down at about the 13-yard line. What a big gain for San Benito.
Yeah, they went to a no-back set. They ran everybody out on the route. They got good protection. Number 9 for the Panthers, Axel Cameron on the tackle, but it's first down inside the 20.
Yeah, first down and 10 at the 13. Reta looking out to his right. He's going to tuck it. He's going to run. He's inside the 10 to about the 9-yard line.
And I believe that was number 4 stepping up, Tommy Esquivel, to make the tackle there. And also I see number 12, Evan Margot, involved. It's going to be second down.
Second down and about 6. Hands the ball off to Harper. Harper right behind the left guard. He's going to go into the end zone for the first score of the night. So that is Tyrone Harper with the first touchdown tonight.
Well, he's a very patient runner there, Joe. He started to his right and actually kind of stopped, let the pursuit overflow, cut right up the middle, and really almost went untouched.
So the Greyhounds strike quickly here in the first quarter. Touchdown from Tyrone Harper. Now the extra point is awaiting. Isaiah Trevino will be the holder. The snap is low, but he does a great job of grabbing it, and the kick is up, and it is good. So early here in the first quarter, it is the Greyhounds striking first, and they are now up 7-0.
Yeah, that was a big pass there in the middle of that drive that kind of put the Greyhounds into the scoring zone, but they had just enough going to keep Weslaco off balance. And like I said, I saw something I haven't seen a whole lot this year, but I see the Panthers in a 3-man front, and that seemed to be of no consequence to San Benito on that drive.
Yeah, San Benito looked very poised. Of course, that big play from Reta to Trevino, what a great catch. That was an over-the-shoulder catch, and that set up the touchdown from Tyrone from 9 yards out.
Right, kind of a 3-man drive. We saw Tyrone Harper, Eric Reta, and number 11, Isaiah Trevino. Nobody else touched the football on that drive. But those are 3 of their big players that have come through big all year.
Well, San Benito now set to kick off to Weslaco. Looks like they have everybody set. And the kick is away. The kicker is Abraham Porras. And that ball goes out of bounds at about the 32-yard line. So we'll see what the Panthers want to do here.
Yeah, that was kind of a strange little angle kick there. A team of the quality of San Benito, I think, would kick it deep and try to play defense. But looks like the Panthers are going to take this ball somewhere around the 31-yard line, Joe. Let's see. Now, last game, we started off with Marco Leal. He got kind of banged up, and they brought in Elijah Bonda. Let's see how they start this ball game.
Yeah, we'll see what quarterback they decide to start this game with. Looks like Coach Salinas talking over some last-minute details with his crew.
It's Bonda.
Yeah, Elijah Bonda is running out onto the field, so he'll be the quarterback to begin the game here in San Benito. Looks like he has De Santiago in the backfield with him, 2 receivers right and 2 to the left. Devin Dena split wide to the bottom of your screen. We have a flag early on here in the game, the first one of the night. See what the referee says. So instead of 1st and 10, it'll be 1st and 15 for the Panthers. Ball is resting at the 31-yard line. Same formation for the Panthers. They'll probably run the play that they had originally called. Fakes the handoff to De Santiago, and Elijah hangs on to it himself, and he's going to pick up 5 tough yards there on first down, bringing up 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, he did a nice job there faking, getting behind the left side of his line, pulling right. That's the one thing that Elijah Banda brings to the table, maybe just a hair more than Marco Leal, is the run threat.
So they're going to split 3 receivers to the bottom of the screen, 1 to your top. De Santiago back. Elijah Banda takes the snap, looking for a receiver, nowhere to go, and the pocket collapses, and he's down at the 31-yard line.
Yeah, big number 94, Juan Menchaca for San Benito, ends up getting credit for the sack, but there was pressure early that made Banda move in the pocket, and it's going to be 3rd and long.
Yeah, it'll be 3rd and 15 for the Panthers here on their opening drive of the night. We'll see what they decide to do. They've got 2 receivers right to the left. Matthew De Santiago in the backfield with Elijah Banda. Snap is away. De Santiago stays the block. Good protection. Elijah lets it go, and just a little too long for Devin Dena. So that's going to go down as an incomplete pass, bringing up a 4th down for the Panthers.
Well, that's what you got to do. You know, you got to let it all fly. Playing the best team in the Valley. Got good pass protection back there, but they weren't able to complete it. That'll bring up 4th down, and I believe that means our punter-kicker combo man, Francisco Moreno, will be back.
Yeah, they've got the punt team on here on 4th down. Good snap. Little pressure there by the Greyhounds. Ball takes a Panther bounce, and it's going to be down inside the 30-yard line, about the 27, but there is a flag on the play.
Yeah, there's a flag on the play, and that's usually going to be on the return team. So I'm going to imagine that San Benito gets walked back 15 yards or half the distance from where they ended up with the ball, but let's see who it's on.
We'll wait for the referee's call, but I saw a Weslaco Panther down, so that's usually an illegal block or something.
10 yards.
So holding charged against the return team. As you mentioned, Coach, it's usually on the return team, so that'll move them back 10 yards. So that's going to move them back to about the 17-yard line, and that's exactly where the Greyhounds will begin this second possession of the night. So Reta on the field. He's got Tyrone Harper in the backfield. You've got Isaiah Trevino split to the right. And as we mentioned earlier, those are the 3 guys that Weslaco has to contend with. Reta looking in the direction of Trevino. Ball is away, and this time Trevino can't haul that one in. But again, Trevino getting another look there.
Yeah, once again, 3-man line out of the Panthers. So Reta has time back there throwing. That probably means they're dropping 8 into coverage. But nice job by number 4, Tommy Esquivel, on the coverage on that play. It's 2nd and 10.
So here we go, 2nd down and 10. The Greyhounds with the ball. Handoff to Tyrone Harper again, looking for some blocking. Has some. He breaks a few tackles. He's at the 40. He's at midfield, and now he's starting to pull away from the pack. Tyrone Harper with his 2nd touchdown of the evening.
And once again, what a patient run there, Joe. He heads to the hole, sees some congestion, almost totally stops, then turns the motor on, breaks through the hole, and never truly gets touched. The running back for the Pittsburgh Steelers runs with very much of that same technique. I believe his last name is Bell, and they're going for 2.
Davion Bell. Looks like they are going for 2. Reta keeps the ball after showing or faking the handoff to Tyrone, and he's in untouched, and the 2-point conversion is successful. So here in the first quarter, the Greyhounds extend their lead 15-0. Tyrone Harper with 2 touchdowns on the night already, one of 9 yards and another one of 83.
Now, people say, why would you go for 2 at this point in the game? You know, it's just something that San Benito does. Almost every game film I've seen on San Benito, and every time I've seen them in person the last couple of years, one of their early touchdowns, they try to get that edge. Say they were shut out the rest of the game, Weslaco scores 2 touchdowns, they're forced to go for 2 at least once, or they're going to lose 15-14.
Right.
So their coach must feel like there's a big advantage to doing that, and they do it. But it's real early here in the first quarter, and it's 15-0. Weslaco will get this kickoff. Let's see if they can muster some offense this time.
Yeah, their first possession, they lost 5 yards on a illegal procedure play, and then, of course, they gained them back and then lost them back. So
Right.
they were forced to punt after 3 and out. So we'll see if they can put together some offense here on this second possession here of the night. So San Benito on the kick. Abraham Porras, the kicker for San Benito. Remember, the first kick he had went out of bounds at about the 37-yard line. He is a left-footed kicker, and he pushed it out to the left. So we'll see what happens here. And he does basically the same thing, another pooch kick, and this time it is fair caught at about the 30-yard line. Good job there by Raul Camarena.
You know, that must be one of the new things that someone is talking about at coaching clinics or whatever, is we saw Harlingen South with almost that same idea, that same technique. And it's almost like saying, you know what, we don't want to work on special teams in practice. We'll just bloop it over there and make you fair catch it and play defense on the 30.
Yeah. So here we go. Second possession of the night for the Panthers. 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line. This time we have a new quarterback. That's going to be Marco Leal in at quarterback. He's got De Santiago in the backfield with him. Leal cleaning off his hands, going to hand the ball off to De Santiago. Santiago looking for some running room on the left side of the line, but finds none and is stopped immediately by Ryan Castillo.
Well, they're in a tight wing set or slot set on both sides. Almost the equivalent of a double tight look. And number 25 fought through the block, makes the tackle.
So they're going to lose a few yards on that, 2 to be exact. They'll bring up a 2nd down and 12. They're going to send Berrones in motion. Little problems with the handoff, the exchange there between Leal and De Santiago. Ball is on the ground, and Marco falls on it very smartly. But again, they're going to lose yardage on that play as well. Back to the 23-yard line, so that'll bring up a 3rd down and 17 for the Panthers.
Yeah, the quarterback had to go airborne to try to catch that snap. By the time he got it down, the back was out of range really to hand it off. He really had to fight just to recover the ball. Nice job just to still have possession.
So 2 receivers right, 2 to the left. De Santiago takes the handoff from Leal. He's hit at the 25, breaks the tackle to the 28-yard line. Ball is on the ground, and we'll see who comes up with this fumble. The Greyhounds say that they have it, but we'll let the referees sort that one out before we make any call.
And the Greyhounds are correct, Joe. I didn't see who came out of it. Maybe number 23, Hector Avalos, may have come out of the pile with that ball. But that's a big turnover. And San Benito, who doesn't need any help, is going to start their offense on the 23-yard line.
Yeah, 1st down and 23 on the Weslaco side of the field is where San Benito will begin their third offensive series of the night. So 1 turnover by the Panthers here tonight. We'll see if this defense can stiffen up and keep the Greyhounds out of the end zone. 3 receivers to the left, tight, and Isaiah Trevino, in motion in that direction as well. And the handoff is to Tyrone Harper, but he is grabbed by Jesse Ramos and not allowed to go anywhere.
Well, Jesse Ramos, Tony Estevanez back there. Number 13, of course, our boy Marco Noriega, and number 2, Roy Trevino, all back there eating that thing up. That's the biggest play so far of the game for the Panther defense.
So they're going to move him back about 4 or 5 yards. Trevino in motion again. Handoff is to Harper, looking for some ring room on the right side of the field. He turns a corner, and he is hit hard by Evan Margot, and he maybe gained a couple of yards, 2 or 3. We'll see where they spot it. But Margot came up and really hit Harper pretty hard.
Yeah, Margot out of a safety spot, and there's a flag, Joe. Looks like we're going to even take it back farther. But nice job, Evan Margot, number 12, coming out of his safety spot to make that tackle.
Yeah, so that penalty is against the Greyhounds, so it's going to move them back a few yards, and it'll be second down for the Greyhounds.
And a half a mile, as they say.
Exactly. send a receiver in motion. Reta rolling out to his left. Now he turns it out to the right, little screen to Harper. Harper has some blockers. He's at the 20, he's at the 15, he's at the 10, and he's going to get into the end zone. So that's the third touchdown of the night for Harper.
A little misdirection screen there by San Benito. And, Harper's a very talented young man. But, the showboating right there at the end, he quit running and barely stepped across the goal line. That's not how you do things. But you know what? I don't coach their team. It looks like they're going for 2 again.
Yep. So here we go, lined up for a 2-point conversion. Reta rolls out to his right, has some pressure, and he is dropped. Good job there by Andrew Olguin to come up and keep Reta from getting rid of that ball, and drops him. So the 2-point conversion is nullified. And in the first quarter, it is now the Greyhounds 21, the Panthers 0.
Yeah, they ran motion on that last offensive play to the left. Quarterback started that way. He's a good athlete, whirls around, finds Harper over on the right side of the offense, got some linemen out in front, uses his speed to get into the open, and then basically walks in for a touchdown. There's some things in life, and one of them's called sportsmanship. And like I said, I like the Barry Sanders school of thought, where I'm going to get through the end zone, get out of there. I've been there before. I don't need to draw any extra attention to myself. That's the old coach in me. I'm surprised Coach Gomez puts up with that, but obviously he does, because we've seen it twice now.
So here we go. San Benito set to kick off yet once again. Abraham Porras. He's pooch kicked the first 2. We'll see if they continue with that same style of kick. And yes, they do. So it goes in the direction. This time it goes a little bit deeper. It looks like Axel Camarena just fair catches that one inside the 30. We'll see where they officially mark that one. And the Panthers will begin at their own 28-yard line.
Yeah, so that must be their modus of operandi, and I don't have a real problem with it. I just, in South Texas, everybody's got a pretty good soccer team. I can't believe that most schools couldn't find a guy that can kick it into the end zone. Let me tell you what, if I don't ever have to worry about a return, because I'm kicking the ball into and out of the end zone, and I start playing defense every series on the 25, I'm a happy man.
Yeah. So here we go. Elijah Banda back in at quarterback. De Santiago in motion, but we do have a flag. One of the things that I just thought about, Coach, is you pooch it to about the 30, 25-yard line and don't have to worry about a return either, almost about the same thing.
Well, you can say you don't have to worry about it, but I thought on that last one, Camarena maybe could have made 8 or 10 yards. But he has been coached to fair catch, so that's what he does.
So the second procedure call of the night against the Panthers. De Santiago in motion. Elijah Banda, quick screen out there to Jaden Cavazos. Jaden Cavazos has a few blockers in front of him and is able to get the ball out to the original line of scrimmage, so they get those 5 yards back.
Yeah, they get the 5 yards back. Interesting play. They put De Santiago in motion to the left, then turn him up the sideline. Keep an eye on that. San Benito falls asleep, he'll run by him and be wide open.
That he will. So Elijah Banda looking over to the sideline for the next call. They're going to get everything situated, and this time Elijah hands it off to De Santiago, and he's met at the line of scrimmage by Ryan Reza.
Yeah, he sat there, waited for things to develop. Matt De Santiago turns up inside the hole, and he's there to say hello, and it's going to be 3rd and long.
Yeah, 3rd and long for the Panthers. They're going to lose a yard on that play. They're going to move it back to about the 27-yard line. So 3rd down and about 11. 3 receivers split to the top of the screen. Banda nowhere to throw the ball because he's got pressure immediately from Pedro Gomez.
Yeah, Gomez makes him move in the pocket. Then number 44, Avelino Garcia, and number 27 again, Ryan Reza, clean it up. 4th and long for the Panthers. It's punt time again.
So they're going to send on Francisco Moreno to do the punting for the Panthers. Good snap. Good punt. This one's going to be fielded at about the 44-yard line. And guess who's back there as a return man? Tyrone Harper breaks a few tackles, gets across midfield into Panther territory to about the 47-yard line, and that's where San Benito is going to take over on offense.
Yeah, it looked like he was about one man away from breaking it, but you had a good tackle made by Enrique Guerra, and believe it or not, Elijah Bonda involved on that tackle.
So 1st and 10 for the Greyhounds. They'll begin this offensive series on the Panthers side of the field at the 47-yard line. Reta in at quarterback. He's got Harper in the backfield, and looks like he's got KD Galvan back there as well. It's not KD Galvan, it's going to be Marcelino Morales. They're going to send him in motion and hand the ball off to Harper. Harper breaking a tackle inside the 40 down to about the 37-yard line. That's going to be very close to a Greyhound first down. Let's see where they spot it.
Once again, that patient running style, Panthers are having a hard time
They're going to
with.
say 9, so it'll be 2nd down and 1. Handoff is to Harper, and guess who meets him in the backfield?
Yeah, that guy again, Marco Noriega, he got a little help out of Seth Sanchez, number 44, but good job defensively right there for the Panthers. Look like they may be going back to their 4-man line here.
Yeah, that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 1 for the Greyhounds. Good job there by the Panther defense. They're going to send Harper in motion. They're going to hand the ball off to Morales. Morales looking for some running room right behind the left guard. Looks like he may have been able to squeeze his way beyond the 37, and if he does, that's going to be a 1st down for the Greyhounds, but we'll see where they're going to line it up. They're going to say no, that he's going to be short, so that'll bring up 4th down for the Greyhounds. I wonder how many times this year they've been in that situation.
Well, not a whole bunch. That was a nice job again off the edge by Andrew Olguin, number 28, and again, Seth Sanchez, big number 44. He's also involved in that stop.
So 4th down for the Greyhounds. Ball is just inside the 38-yard line. The yard to gain is the 37. I formation for the Greyhounds. There is a timeout called on the field. The Greyhounds taking a timeout to see what they need to do. I don't think the coach liked what he saw defensively that they were facing on the Panthers side of the line.
Well, you want the right call down here. I mean, you're up 21, so you can be a little bold here, but you're out of field goal range. A punt doesn't gain you anything. If it goes in the end zone, you gained 18 yards, So right decision to go for it. But something either was up with their formation or up with the alignment of the Panther defense that made them take the timeout.
Yeah, they came out in an I formation. We hadn't seen that tonight from the Greyhounds.
I got to believe Reta is a good enough athlete to quarterback sneak it in a set like that. But maybe they felt like the Panthers had too much tackle to tackle.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what they go to here. Looks like pretty much
a power eye, maybe.
Well, it's the double tight, double wing. Oh, field goal, maybe? No. I formation. Here
I
we go.
formation with Jason Navarro as the up back. They're going to hand it off to Tyrone Harper, and he's easily going to get the 1st down for the Greyhounds.
Yeah, that's the old school blast play, 94 on the tackle. Jesse Ramos has been involved a lot already tonight in on that play.
So 1st and 10 for the Greyhounds. Ball is resting at the 36-yard line of the Panthers. Reta, the quarterback, hands it off to Harper. Harper looking for some running room on the right side. He is hit hard by Marco Noriega, and then coming to finish him off is Tommy Esquivel.
Yeah, good job of Noriega standing him up. Number 4 comes in and cleans up. It looks like you might have to stop Tyrone Harper before he gets running, because once he's running, he's a handful.
Yeah, he's very elusive, able to sidestep and get around tackles, and they're going to send him in motion. This time they're going to hand it off to the left side of the field. He does cut up, gets inside the 35-yard line to about the 34. Marco in there on the tackle again.
Yeah, he's probably dead keyed on number 4. They probably told him during the week, Marco, wherever 4 goes, I want you going. And he's coming through big right now for the Panthers.
Yes, he has. So Reta, the quarterback, he's going to have 2 men back there with him, Marcelino Morales and Tyrone Harper. Looks like he's maybe adjusting the call there. Maybe sees something there in the Panther defense. Panthers showing blitz. They bring a blitz. Reta has some time. He gets rid of the ball, and it is caught by Marcelino Morales. And Marcelino Morales still on his feet inside the 10-yard line, and looks like he got to about the 6. So it's going to be first and goal for the Greyhounds.
Yeah, so he goes from his backfield slot up the seam. They have time to make the throw. He makes a very, very physical run, but looks like there's a penalty on the play. I would guess holding from this walk-off.
Yeah, we just heard the referee call the holding against the offense, so they're going to march this one back to about the 43-yard line maybe? Yep, the 43-yard line for the Greyhounds. So we'll see what they decide to call on this play.
Well, that explains maybe the time he had to throw there, because it looked like the Panthers had people coming. They just didn't get there.
Yeah, it looked like Olguin was going to be blitzing from his cornerback position. Reta's going to roll to his left, gets rid of the ball. It's in the air in the direction of Trevino, but that was a little bit too far left. That ball sails out of bounds, incomplete. So the Greyhounds will now be faced with a third down and about 16.
Yeah, and you got to believe they're in 4-down territory. They went for it on 4th down last drive.
That penalty is 5. 4th down.
Okay, lineman downfield, loss of down. Even though it's declined, so it's going to bring up 4th down. I got to believe they'll punt in this situation, but I don't see them changing personnel. You know what, though? Reta is able to quick kick. I've seen him do it before. Be prepared for that.
Well, he's got an empty backfield. Motion is going to be called against against the Greyhounds. So they're going to back him up even further. So now you can pretty much be guaranteed that the Greyhounds will be punting.
So let's see if they change personnel and get into a real punt formation. Looks like Reta may be going back a little deeper than he was. He's telling everybody what's going on. I got to believe he rolls slightly to his right and punts it.
Little rugby-style kick. We've seen that a lot this year. Empty backfield. Now he's going to back up even further to about 7 yards. And, yes, it is a quick kick from Eric Reta. It's a good one. Bounces about the 20, and Isaiah Trevino is going to down it and inside the 20 at the 19. So the Panthers will take over on offense at their own 19-yard line here in the first quarter.
They have been rotating quarterbacks, so it should be Marco Leal's turn to go. In fact, I know it's true because number 8's walking off the field with Coach Salinas. Let's see if they can muster some offense this time around.
Well, Marco Leal is in at quarterback for this offensive series for the Panthers. 2 receivers right, 2 to the left, and now De Santiago is in motion, as is one of the receivers.
You know, it
5 yards, first down.
It always makes me wonder when you see that much movement on first down. 61 did it earlier. That time was one of the receivers. Is San Benito saying go Hut? Are they saying something that's making Weslaco move? Just curious sometimes.
So here we go. Leal, quick pass out to Devin Dena. Devin Dena with some running room. He's out to the 30, 35, and is finally shoved out of bounds at about the 38-yard line. They're going to say, we'll see where, yeah, I saw about the 38-yard line,
right.
And yeah, they're bringing it back. There was one of the referees standing at about the 41. I was like, whoa.
Is that their first down there?
That I was about to say, they pick up their first down of the night. So let's see if the Panthers can continue this momentum here. 3 receivers to the right. Handoff is to De Santiago, and guess what? We've got another flag on the play.
Well, that time I saw movement on the front of San Benito, so it may be defensive offsides. Let's see.
Offside, 94. Defense. 5 yards, still first down.
Good call, Coach.
Well, and that helps you down in distance-wise. Now you're 1st and 5. That opens up the playbook, 1st and 5, because no matter what happens here, don't lose any yards. Then 2nd and 5, still a good down in distance. So looks like they're going to a power set of some sort.
Yeah, they're changing some personnel here on the field. got a few extra blockers. De Santiago is the running back in the backfield with Leal. But we're going to have a flag because at the top of your screen, you have one of the Panthers moving. So the 5 yards that they just gained, they gave them back.
Offense. 5 yards, first down.
Yeah, so we played a little yo-yo with a 5-yard piece of AstroTurf there. Move forward, move back, move forward, move back.
So now it's 1st and 10.
Yeah. So everything I said about 1st and 5 is gone. You're back on normal down in distance.
Yeah,
now.
1st and 10 for the Panthers. Ball is at their own 38-yard line. De Santiago in the running back. They're going to hand the ball off. He's looking for some running room on the right side. He breaks the tackle, but he cannot get past John Gonzalez. And he's going to be dropped for about a 3-yard loss on that play.
Well, number 1, Payne Guajardo was back there kind of gumming up the works. He had to bounce it deeper than he wanted to be. And Joe, looks like it's the end of the first period.
Yeah, we've played one here in San Benito, Bobby Morrow Stadium. And at the end of one, it is the San Benito Greyhounds 21, your Weslaco Panthers 0. Welcome back to Bobby Morrow Stadium here in San Benito, Texas. K-West bringing you Friday Night Lights action. It is your Weslaco Panthers taking on the San Benito Greyhounds. I am Joe Aguilar, joined by the coach, John Boswell. At the end of one, San Benito leads 21-0. Weslaco with the ball. 2nd down and about 13. A quick pass out to the left to Devin Dena. A play that went really well just a few plays ago. This time they pick up about 4 yards. It'll bring up a 3rd down and about 8.
Yeah, San Benito showed blitz and kind of pulled out of that, Joe. Let's not forget the guy on the camera, Vinny Berry, and also want to thank Val Zamora for the editing that he'll do on this ball game. But here we go, Weslaco. We're moving the ball. Had a couple penalties kind of jump in there and take some momentum away. Let's see what they got here on 3rd down.
Well, 3rd down and 9 from the 39-yard line here early on in the 2nd quarter. It is Marco Leal, the quarterback, sending Jaden Cavazos in motion to his left. And Marco Leal is dropped for a big loss. Ryan Reza coming up from his linebacking position untouched and drops Marco Leal down at the 30-yard line, where it's going to bring up a 4th down and 18 for the Panthers.
Yeah, number 27 kind of sat for a second, made sure there was nobody in his area to cover. Kind of a delayed blitz or a delayed rush, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So on the punt, Francisco Moreno. Good snap. Punt is away. It's a good one. It's going to be fielded at the 34-yard line by Tyrone Harper. Stiff arms a Panther. Makes the turn. He's at the 40. He's at the 30. He is going to go into the end zone for his 4th touchdown of the night.
Well, the Panthers were really in pretty good position there. There was one good block that got him to the sideline, and then after he got to the sideline, Joe, it was all over. He outran Angles, and, he's a big-time player, and it's showing here early in this ball game. Harper, he's getting help. Don't get me wrong. He couldn't do it alone, but he's a quality football player, and here they are right back on the field. They're going for 2 again.
Yeah, they've done this. This will be their 3rd attempt of a 2-point conversion. One was successful earlier today. So here we go. Empty backfield for Reta. They're going to send Trevino in motion. He fakes the handoff to Trevino, and he's going to go into the end zone for a 2-point conversion. And now the score is the Weslaco Panthers 0 and the San Benito Greyhounds 29.
So they run that speed sweep motion. He rides the guy and reads the defensive end. If the defensive end widens, he keeps the ball up inside. If the defensive end sits or collapses, he hands off. Well, the defensive end worked outside. A lineman is pulling around up the field. He gets behind him. Retta's in for 2.
Well, the Greyhounds will kick off again to the Panthers. One thing that we've been talking about here tonight is that they like this little pooch kick. And the Panthers have been fair catching that one at about the 30-yard line, give or take a few yards here and there. We'll see if they try that yet once again. We were talking about, you were mentioning rather about having a good kicker and just booting it out of the end zone every time just to avoid having to face a return guy.
Right, but, wind can change all of that. And if he all of a sudden turns around and kicks it deep, then we'll know that was just something they were doing because of a wind condition. If he does it again, that's just their style of kickoff. I just think you're asking for problems there because you're going to get a kid that says, I've got room. Let me catch it and see if I can make some yards. Once again, it's about the 29-yard line, but could he have made 5? I don't have an answer for you. But as a coach, I would be kind of scared of that.
And if this is something that's a pattern, something that you do all the time, you could always defend that.
Right.
Set up some blockers, and like you just said, Coach, maybe set up some kind of return, and you put yourself in great field position if you're starting from the 29-yard line. So here we go. The Panthers do begin at their own 29-yard line, 1st and 10. Elijah Banda in at quarterback. De Santiago is the running back. They're going to send 2 receivers wide to the left. San Benito showing a little bit of blitz, and they hold up. Elijah's going to keep the ball, and he's going to be dropped for about a loss of 2.
Yeah, the nose guard for San Benito, Carlos Rodriguez, number 56, works off a block down the line and makes the play.
So 2nd down, they're going to say he loses 1 and 11 for the Panthers. This time they're going to send 3 wide to the right, to the bottom of your screen. And again, we're going to have motion.
That's happening way too much on early downs that I've got to believe that something is going on. Now, there's a lot of ways to get around that. You're not supposed to imitate the snap count. But if I say move and you say hut, when I'm listening for the first sound, they sound the same. Just the fact that something's coming out. But here we go, 2nd and really long.
Yeah, 2nd and 16. A toss to Elijah Banda. Elijah lets rid of the ball. It is caught. Caught by Jay Granados. And the big play, the shot in the arm that the Weslaco Panthers needed, just happened.
Well, first of all, you've got both quarterbacks on the field. Number one, they were attempting to run this play when they called illegal motion on the Panthers. And what a nice throw and catch.
So the Panthers on the board. Point after is pending. And we've got some kind of delay on the field, so they're going to take a timeout. We'll take one with you. We'll be right back with more football action right here on K-West.
Typically, there are 2 types of burglars. Those who pull on door handles looking for a vehicle that has been left unlocked. And when they find one, go in and take everything they can get their hands on. Then there are the window shoppers who look for property that has been left in plain view. When they find something they want, they break in and take it. This crime is easily avoided. The City of Weslaco Police Department reminds you to lock your car, take your keys, and hide your belongings. Don't be a victim. Protect what's yours.
Welcome back to Bobby Morrow Stadium. Weslaco taking on the San Benito Greyhounds. I'm Joe Aguilar, joined by none other than the coach, John Boswell. Big play from the Panthers as they get on the board here in the 2nd quarter.
Well, there goes the extra point there. It looks like it's good by Francisco. But you've got to let it all hang out against a team like San Benito. And, the Panthers are to the point in their season where it may be no tomorrow as far as the playoffs go. So if you've got some of those plays in your bag of tricks, maybe you want to open them up. I hate to say it, but in a game like this, it may not be too early to at least talk about onside. Let's get a possession some way if we can.
So the Panthers set to kick off to the Greyhounds after a great pass from Elijah Banda, who is playing running back on that last play. So that's something that's scary. I know early on in the season we saw all 3 quarterbacks on the field at the same time.
Yeah, against Hannah, I believe it was, Joe. Banda was coming back from an injury, and of course Cavazos hadn't been injured yet. Jacob, and then of course you still had Marco Leal, and you had all 3 of them on the field at the same time. So you could have done all kinds of double, triple, pass, reverse, all kinds of stuff because they're all good athletes. They can all throw, they can all catch, and they can all run.
So here we go. Francisco Moreno is ready to kick the ball away, and he does. This one's on the ground. It's a squib kick, and it's going to be fielded at the 23-yard line by Jason Navarro. I'm sorry, that's not Jason Navarro. That is Kyler Castilleja, and he returns the ball out to about the 27-yard line.
Yeah, easy for you to say, but good job there by the Panthers getting the ball down there and rolling it around, making them pick it up with somebody that they don't want to pick it up. And let's see if the defense can get a stop here. This would be big to get a stop because you're down by 2 possessions now. Or is that 3?
3.
I'm sorry, my math was never good.
Well, Reta and company on the field. He's got Tyrone Harper in the backfield with him. They're going to stack 2 receivers on each side of the field. Hands the ball off to Harper. Harper has some running room here on the left side and some very patient running there from Harper, and he's finally brought down at about the 35-yard line.
Yeah, again, big 99, Tony Estevanes comes from his defensive line spot to chest up with Tyrone Harper and in that run.
So second down for the Greyhounds, but it looks like the Panthers were offsides on that play.
Yeah, well, that would be my guess because they stopped it immediately. A defensive lineman can jump and not touch anybody. They won't stop it. But when you touch someone, I think that caused the bad snap.
So those 5 yards are going to be enough to give the Greyhounds a first down. So it's 1st and 10 from their own 40-yard line. They're going to send 3 receivers wide to the right, 1 down to the bottom of your screen. Harper, the lone setback. Reta fakes the handoff. He's going to keep it. He's dancing up the middle, going to get across the 40 to about the 43-yard line.
And Roy Trevino, number 2, introduced himself to Mr. Reta there on the end of that play. Nice defensive play by Weslaco.
Yeah, the 42-yard line, they're going to say they stopped him. So it'll be 2nd down and 8 for the Greyhounds. Same offensive formation for the Greyhounds. They're going to send a receiver in motion. Fakes the jet sweep. Reta rolls out to his right. Gets rid of the ball. It's caught by Trevino at about the 44-yard line. And he's brought down as soon as he catches that ball.
Andrew Olguin out there. We've seen him blitz off the edge. Now we see him out in coverage. Nice job of making a tackle on a very good player in the open field.
Well, that's a 1-yard pickup, bringing up a 3rd down and 7. Reta taking a pause to look over to the sideline. Isaiah Trevino here at the bottom of your screen. Tyrone Harper stays to block. Reta lets the ball go in the direction of Trevino, and what a catch. That ball off his own hands, and he's able to bring that one in for his first touchdown of the night. A 56-yard touchdown pass from Reta to Trevino.
You know, it looked like the coverage was not that bad. Ball kind of got knocked around. He stayed with it. He kept running. You know, we talked about a good open field tackle on the play before on Isaiah Trevino. Well, he showed what kind of athlete he was right there on that one. Are they going for 2 again, Joe?
No, they're bringing out the field goal unit.
All right, you got a kicker in.
So they got the field goal unit on the field to attempt the extra point.
This is not the lefty, though.
No, it's not. It's a different gentleman on the field.
Perez, 35?
It's Fernando Perez on to kick the extra point. And it is good. So here in the 2nd quarter, it is now the San Benito Greyhounds 36, your Weslaco Panthers 7.
Wow, you know, it looked like the Panthers kind of had San Benito on the ropes there. They had a couple of good defensive plays back-to-back. Nice open field tackle there by Andrew Olguin. And kaboom, that's how explosive the San Benito Greyhounds are.
You know, Coach, you mentioned this is pretty much a 3-man offense. Reta, Harper, and Trevino. And again, that was Trevino on the receiving end of that pass, and you talked about his athleticism. And you also got to talk about the focus he had to bring that ball in, because that ball was tipped by himself, but he had the presence of mind to keep his eye on the ball, keep moving forward, bring it in, and run the rest of the way to the end zone.
Well, one of the things I like when a team has triplets, and those of you that like the Dallas Cowboys remember the triplets, but each member of that group makes the other members good. The ability to fake the ball to Tyrone Harper opens up passes. The very fact that number 11 has such great hands and concentration makes it easier to throw to him. Being able to fake the ball to Tyrone Harper makes it easier for Retta to run the ball, and vice versa. Onside kick, and they're going to get it. Did it go 10 yards?
It did go 10 yards, and San Benito fell on it.
That's the middle kick that you see, and San Benito's trying to put this thing out of touch early.
Yeah, Alex Prieto doing a great job just keeping his eye on the ball. And I don't think his eyes moved off the ball, because as soon as that ball went beyond 10 yards, he dove on top of it.
Oh, yeah. And if this is run correctly, many times you'll see the kicker recover the ball, because they basically are blocking ahead of the ball, waiting for the ball to go 10. When it works, it's beautiful. When it doesn't, it looks funny.
Little reverse to Trevino. Trevino looking for some running room, and there is none, but he gets a big block. He's able to turn the corner and get to about the 35-yard line.
How unselfish is a quarterback that peels himself back to make the block to get your guy back, and they end up making about a yard, maybe two, on a play that Weslaco had really defensed well. Tackle end up being made by Tommy Esquivel, number 4. We've said his name a bunch today.
Yes, we have, and I meant 45-yard line, not 35. So he gets inside the 45-yard line to the 43, makes 2 yards out of what seemed to be about a 7-yard loss. This time they're going to send a receiver in motion. Reta rolls out to his left. Now he rolls out to his right. And that same screen we saw Tyrone Harper score on is the same play they run again. He's waiting for some blocks to happen, and they do. And he gets into the end zone on that same screen play, but we do have a flag on the play.
Yeah, there's a flag on the play. No telling what that is, but that is the exact play that they ran earlier in the game. All the motion goes left. Harper slips out with the lineman to the right once he gets the ball in his hand in open field. That's big.
So we'll wait for the call here.
Block in the back. Block in the back. 88. Offense. 10 yards. Part of the foul. First down.
Okay, so that'll negate the touchdown, but still a big gain for the Greyhounds. All the way down to the 20-yard line is where they will spot the ball after they assess the penalty. As you heard the referee, it was an illegal block in the back. So 1st and 10 for the Greyhounds. Send the back in motion. Reta has plenty of time. Gets rid of the ball. It is caught by Marcelino Morales. He gets inside the 20 to about the 18-yard line.
Yeah, he looks down the field. That was great coverage by the Panther defensive backfield. And no place to go. The ball dumps it off to his outlet there, Morales, and makes about 2.
That's number 30.
So the safety valve, Morales picks up 2 yards. He's in the backfield with the quarterback, Reta. Fakes the handoff. Reta keeps it. He is brought down at the line of scrimmage. Good job penetrating there by Tony Estevane.
Yeah, but there's multiple laundries on the field. I'm not sure that's in a position that could be on either side.
So we'll wait for them to sort this out. Discussion there on the field. Referee getting everything straightened out before he makes his call. Here we go.
During the run, foul, personal foul, face mask, defense, number 99. That's the distance, first down.
Actually, Joe, I never saw the face mask. I did see him almost pull his pants down.
Yeah, I was going to say he pulled him from the jersey is what I saw. But again, they have the call on the field. So
yeah,
first,
they're closer than we are.
Yeah, 1st and goal inside the 10-yard line. It's at the 9. Reta looking for a receiver out to the left side of the field, and he finds Isaiah Garza for a 7-yard touchdown pass. So the last 2 touchdowns have been had by Reta to Trevino.
Right. Yeah, Isaiah Trevino just runs a little out route against man-to-man down in the goal line area, and I don't see a kicker on the field. They may be going for 2. Oh, here he comes.
So once again, they will send a kicker onto the field.
Pettis.
Fernando Perez is the field goal guy, extra point guy here right now. Snap is a little low, but a great job there by the holder to get it up onto the block. And it's kicked through the uprights by Fernando Perez. And now the Greyhounds have extended their lead. They lead now by a score of 43-7.
Yeah, this is tough sledding right here for the Panther team. You know, the coaching staff has really got to fight to keep their focus, keep them fighting. You got to call some offenses that maybe move the ball down. I would believe that San Benito will finish the half mostly with their good players and then start making substitutions in the third period. But right now, when you're a new program, these are learning situations. These are situations where you get to go into halftime and make some adjustments and talk about moving forward and talk about fighting through adversity together as a team. You know, it's a very young squad that the Panthers have and a brand new coaching staff. So I'm sure they will approach this correctly and they'll make adjustments as we go. But right now, San Benito's having their way.
Yeah, they have scored pretty much on every time that they have touched the ball. So Porras on the kick for the Greyhounds. Onside kick the last time. This time he does kick it away, and it's on the other side of the field. It drops at about the 14, and it's picked up at about the 11 by Devin Denna, running all the way across the field, and he's ran about 40 yards and picked up 2.
Yeah, well, that's one of those deals where you said right return, and they kick it right to the left sideline, and, you know, the kid's going to try to get what he can over there to get to the wall. San Benito just runs too well to run that far and not turn up the field, and it's going to be bad field position. First down. Who should be the quarterback? Is it going to be Marco again, or it looks like Elijah is standing in the back? So
well, they're both there, Marco and Elijah, on the field. Looks like they're sending Marco.
Yeah, that's possible. They're both on the field. We saw that on the last series.
We'll see what happens once they break the huddle. Coach Salinas giving his last-minute instructions there. Of course, he'd like to see a nice drive and some points on the board before they head into the field house for halftime.
There must have been a flag that we didn't know about, Joe, because that's about half the distance to the goal from where I thought it was going to be first down.
Yeah, I didn't see a flag, and I didn't hear the referee either. So 1st and 10 for the Panthers at their own 6-yard line. Marco Leal is the quarterback. Gets the ball and gets rid of it quickly in the direction of Denna, but that one goes incomplete, and we do have flags once again on the field.
Well, he had coverage out of number 10. That's Cavazos. Number 13, that's Mercado for San Benito, but you got to believe that's interference.
Then you're absolutely correct, Coach. Pass interference charge to the Greyhounds.
Pass interference. Defense. Number 13. 15 yards. First down.
So that'll get him out from the end zone because Leal almost threw that ball from the end zone. So it'll go out to the 21-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Panthers. As we approach halftime, they trail 43-7. Handoff is made to De Santiago. He's got a little bit of running room right behind the left guard. Gets out to about the 27-yard line, so that's going to be a good 6-yard carry there for De Santiago.
Yeah, good positive gain there for the Panther offense coming off that pass interference call. And you're in a good down and distance right now. You're in second and medium, so you're moving along fine here.
Leal looking over to the sideline to see what the coaches want to do. De Santiago in the backfield. Fakes the handoff, throws out here to his left, and it's intercepted. Intercepted by John Gonzalez, and that's a pick 6 for the Greyhounds.
Wow. Got a little positive stuff going there for the Panthers. The defense for San Benito steps in front of the pass. John Gonzalez, number 24, and brings it back. Joe, this extra point is going to put us right around 50.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to ask me to predict the score of this game, I don't know that I would have went 50 for the final total, especially the way the Panthers have played the last couple of weeks. They've really done a good job blowout win over Rivera. A road win, come from behind against a tough South team. I didn't expect this.
Well, the point after is coming up. Fernando Perez is on to attempt that. Good snap, good hold, kick is up, and the kick is through the uprights. And right before the half, the Greyhounds have extended their lead, yet once again, now lead this one by a score of 50-7.
So we've seen a long punt return. We've seen an onside kick. We've seen a number of two-point conversions. We've seen a couple of long screen passes. We've seen Tyrone Harper on a long draw play. Reta scoring a couple of two-point plays. We've seen it.
And you forgot the passes to Trevino for touchdowns as well. You had a 56-yard pass to Trevino from Reta, and then you had a 7-yard pass to Trevino from Reta for touchdowns as well from San Benito.
Yeah, what they call the household names are really doing their job tonight for San Benito. And Weslaco really needs to kind of regroup, regather, and just keep playing. And that's all you can do. You know, they return home in a week and play Los Fresnos, who's got a good ball club too. And I believe will end up in the playoffs. So Weslaco can keep measuring themselves, keep the growth process going on this program. And you know, every game, every play, you have a chance to get better. And I'm sure that's what the coaches are talking about right now.
50-7 is the score here at Bobby Morrow Stadium in San Benito. San Benito set to kick off to the Panthers. Porras, the kicker. High kick, caught at about the 12-yard line. Good return here from Jaden Cavazos. Jaden Cavazos taking this one from about the 12 all the way to the 39-yard line. Best return we've seen all night.
Well, yeah, he cut up in there. He found a little seam, cut it back to his right. That's what I'm talking about, though. That's a sophomore kid, Cavazos, who's really his first varsity experience this year. He's had a good season, but he's in there to fight to the end, and that's what you want to see if you're a fan of the Weslaco Panthers or a coach on that program.
Yeah, you never want to hold your head down. You want to keep it up. You want to keep moving forward. And so here we go, 1st and 10 for the Panthers at their own 39-yard line. La Jabanda in at quarterback. Hands the ball off to De Santiago. De Santiago looking for some running room and can't find any. He's met immediately at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that play to bring up a 2nd down and 10.
In the middle of that for San Benito was number 56, their nose guard, Carlos Rodriguez, along with the guy that just intercepted, John Gonzalez, number 24.
Well, they're going to say that he was hit behind the line of scrimmage. Loss of 2 yards on that play. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 12. Two receivers down to your right. Isaiah Villarreal on the left in the slot. Elijah Banda with the ball. Throws the ball in the direction of Devin Dena, but he just can't seem to find the handle on that one. Defensively guarded very well by San Benito's Jacob Cavazos.
Well, there was a flag on the play, so that might explain some of that great coverage there by Cavazos back there. Let's see if it is pass interference, but that's what I think it's going to be.
Little huddle there from the officiating crew as they stand there at about the 35-yard line to iron this one out. Here's the call.
No flag. No flag.
Wow. It was either holding or it wasn't, or it was either interference or it wasn't. Now, the fact that the pass landed out of bounds might be why the flag comes off, because then you deem the catch uncatchable. So whether you interfered or not, he couldn't have caught the ball whether you did or didn't because it wasn't in bounds.
Well,
so that's possible.
The Panther faithful not liking that call, but nonetheless, that'll bring up a 3rd down and 12 for the Panthers. Ball at their own 37-yard line. Elijah Banda hands the ball off to De Santiago. De Santiago hit in the backfield and dropped for another loss. In the backfield to create the chaos and make the tackle is Ryan Castillo.
Yeah, he just shot across. He wasn't really blocked. He was on the edge of the formation. Matt just had no help out there in space. 25 makes the play. It's 4th and long, and our boy Francisco probably getting tired of punting.
Well, they send the punting unit on the field. Looks like they got all 11 players on the field now.
Kyler back to receive.
Good snap. Good punt. Over the head of the return man, Castilleja. Back there trying to get that ball is Roy Trevino. And that was a foot race for that ball.
Yeah, that was almost disaster on San Benito's part. He got his hands on that and couldn't pull it in, and it was rolling free. I believe it was Roy Trevino that was down the field there that I thought for a second might have a chance to pick that up. But the San Benito return man found a way to get his hands on it.
Yeah.
And here late in the first half, it's going to be first down.
Yeah, that's Kyler Castilleja able to make a little bit of a return with that punt to make it somewhat decent because, as you mentioned, that almost blew up. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Greyhounds at their own 14-yard line. Quarterback is not Reta. That quarterback is going to be number 81, and we don't have him on our roster.
Yeah, we do not have an 81, and I have the most recent roster that was given to us. In fact, there's nobody else on the roster listed as a quarterback that I can see. So this kid has come up from the JV or somewhere, and he's in the ball game.
So they make a handoff quickly, and running with the ball to about the 31-yard line is Marcelino Morales.
We do have him. He's been a mainstay so far in this ball game, and he is the lone back right now.
We've got a timeout on the field. It's an official's timeout. Something must have happened on the field that they need to call a timeout. So there's going to be 1st and 10 for the Greyhounds once the whistle is blown here. The Greyhounds are going to send 3 receivers right. And we got the quarterback, a young man that we don't know, who's going to keep the ball, and he's going to run the ball. He's at the 41-yard line, breaking a few tackles, and he was pushed from behind, and had he not been pushed, he might still be running with the football.
Yeah, Mr. Mystery Man, number 81, obviously has run this offense before because he looks pretty good doing it.
So 1st and 10 for the Greyhounds from the Weslaco Panthers side of the field. 48-yard line is where they're going to say he was dropped at. So we've got a timeout on the field taken by the Greyhounds. So San Benito leads this game here in the second quarter by a score of 50-7.
Before Harlan Block raised the flag over Iwo Jima, he was a student at Weslaco ISD. There he played for the Panthers, won a championship, and learned some of the leadership skills he and 7 other students used while serving in the Marines. Weslaco ISD is home to some of the most prominent graduates in the Rio Grande Valley. For war hero Harlan Block, Weslaco ISD was the right choice.
San Benito leads this game here in the second quarter by a score of 50-7. Marcelino Morales in the backfield with the quarterback. Stacked receivers to both sides of the field. Quarterback keeps the ball, a little delay inside the 40. Spin move inside the 35, inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Some pretty tough running from this quarterback here. He's had 3 good carries on this series by the Greyhounds.
And he got pulled down by the Panthers secondary. Lost the shoe, and here we go again.
Hands the ball off to Morales. Morales hit in the backfield and decides that he just needs to fall because he kept being pushed backwards.
Yeah, Andrew Olguin was back there to make the play. And right now, San Benito's just trying to get to halftime, I think.
Yeah. That they are. So second down after a loss of about 7 yards and 17 for the Greyhounds. Morales in the backfield with the quarterback. Now he's going to, I guess, distribute some information, and then he stays in the block. Quarterback looking for a receiver, gets rid of the ball out to his right, and that one is thrown in the direction of Brandon Valdez, but just a little too far.
Yeah, that was a pretty looking pass. He just didn't time it up real well, but I'm guessing that Morales knows that this offense better than whoever number 81 is, and he was making a protection call up there. And instead of asking the young quarterback to do it, let the running back who does it all the time do it.
Mm-hmm. So the incomplete pass will bring up a third down and about 17. 2 receivers to each side of the line. Morales. Bananas out to his left. Quarterback looking for a receiver. He's going to tuck the ball, and he's going to be dropped at the 40-yard line. So he's going to lose about 3 on that play.
Yeah, I think Benito Juarez, I believe, 48 back there making the play on that. And quarterback had nowhere to go with the ball and held on to it. And it looks like it's going to be 4th down in San Benito. Looks like they're switching people. Maybe 81 cannot punt.
Well, I'll bring up a 4th down and 20. Well, they do send on a punter to the field, and it's a quick kick there. And that one is going to be fielded by Evan Margot at the 8-yard line, turning the corner, but just can't find his balance. We'll see where he stepped out of bounds. Good job there by Evan to field that one, kind of almost break a tackle and run up the field, but the gentleman from San Benito getting just enough of Margot to get him off balance and step out of bounds.
Well, that's good judgment on his part to keep that ball from rolling in deep into the territory, turn it up the field, making a few yards. 16-yard line here towards the end of the first half. Once again, let's see if Wesco can muster something on offense.
Elijah Banda in at quarterback. Hands the ball off to De Santiago. De Santiago is going to be dropped at the 15. Loss of a yard on that play, making it 2nd down and 11.
Actually, Joe, it looks like that's number 5 back there, Big Marco playing quarterback.
Oh, it is?
Right now.
Yeah, my bad.
Well, no problem. They're rotating them in and out. We're seeing a lot of people come in and out in the skill positions. The only one that's probably been in the whole game is De Santiago. I don't remember anyone else in the backfield.
Second down, 11.
2nd and 11, as we just heard from the public address announcer. Handoff is to De Santiago, and he's going to get to about the 19-yard line.
Yeah, it looks like number 31 for San Benito, Pedro Gomez on the tackle. Right now, they're just being really sound up front, San Benito is, and not giving any running lanes for Weslaco.
Well, they're going to give him 5 on the play to the 20-yard line. That'll bring up a 3rd down situation for the Panthers. And the buzzard has just sounded, and we are officially at the half. Your halftime score is the San Benito Greyhounds 50, your Weslaco Panthers 7. We'll be back with second half action right here on K-West.
Before David Lozano started practicing law, he was a student at Weslaco ISD. He participated in UIL athletics. He was a regional qualifier. He earned college credits through the dual enrollment program. After high school, he attended the University of Texas before graduating from St. Mary's School of Law. Now he helps people in need as an attorney. WISD is home to some of the most prestigious graduates in the Rio Grande Valley. For David Lozano, Weslaco ISD was the right choice.
Well, we are back from halftime here at Bobby Morrow Stadium in San Benito, Texas. K-West bringing you high school football. It is your Weslaco Panthers taking on the San Benito Greyhounds. The Weslaco Panthers running out of their tunnel here, set to play the second half of football. The Panthers trailing the Greyhounds by a score of 50-7. I am Joe Aguilar, joined by the coach, John Boswell. Coach, we've seen a lot of football here in the first half.
Yeah, it's been no secret from watching this first half why San Benito, #1 ranked team in the Valley. I don't imagine we'll see a whole bunch of Tyrone Harper, Eric Retta, and Isaiah Trevino here in the second half. I wish we could identify the young man I expect to see at quarterback most of the second half, number 81. We'll do our best to try to identify him, but San Benito must not have thought that was real important because they didn't put him on the roster.
Well, Coach, you mentioned we know why San Benito is ranked #1 in the Valley. Well, they've pretty much controlled all three facets of the game. Offensively, well, we know they're playing one heck of a football game. Defensively, they've shut down this Panther offense. They've caused a fumble, and they've returned an interception for a touchdown. And then on the kicking game, they've really kept the Panthers at bay with really no returns, and then they had that onside kick what they were able to recover as well.
And then all the 2-point plays they've gone for. So, it's been a San Benito kind of reminding Weslaco who they are here. But Weslaco is got to just keep, like we said. Now, they won the toss and elected to defer, so the Panthers will return the opening kickoff here in the second half. But San Benito, they're going to want to try to be in position to make their playoff run. So, their goal probably here the rest of the game is play solid, run the clock. They got Battle of Arroyo in a week. Even though Harlingen's not playing really great this year, it's still a big game. And there's the bloop kick again.
And Evan Margot will return this one to about the 26-yard line. And again, we've seen that boot kick, and one of the times it went to the opposite side of the field, and you mentioned that's hard to really set up any kind of return because we talked about maybe setting up a return for just that one kick, but then they end up kicking it to the other side.
Right. And you never know where that ball's going to go. Looks like we got Marco Leal starting the half. Looks like they got some power personnel in. No wideouts on the field.
So Marco Leal is the quarterback, and as you mentioned earlier, it's Santiago, the only running back that we've seen here tonight, and he's going to take the handoff, and he's going to get to about the line of scrimmage.
And I correct myself with one wideout was on the field. Number 27 steps up, makes a huge play there for San Benito. Ryan Reza. They still have their starters on defense on the field, Joe.
Well, you were talking about the second half, and one of the things that you don't want to do is you don't want to make mental mistakes, because that really kills you no matter how much the lead is. Because you always feel whenever you have a mental mistake that you're going backwards. So a big pass in the direction of Devin Dena. That one goes incomplete. Great job there defensively from Alec Prieto.
Yeah, that's a good coverage back there. Looked like he had manned up. Marco threw the ball, gave Dena a chance to make a play. It didn't happen. You live to fight another down, and here we go for the Weslaco Panthers.
So this is going to be a third down situation for the Panthers. Ball is at the 26-yard line. Receivers to both sides of the ball. Dena in motion. Jet sweep to Dena. He's going to take the ball, get to about the line of scrimmage, get hit, make a spin move forward to about the 29.
Yeah, one of the defenders for San Benito made Mr. Dena take a U-turn there at about the 28-yard line. Good defensive play. I like the idea of running something a little different, getting the ball in someone else's hand. San Benito was ready for it. It's fourth down.
Fourth down, and so Moreno will be on to punt for the Panthers. Remember the last punt. Hard to handle by Castilleja. It's a good punt, low one. Hits at about the 40-yard line. And that one took a bite. And that's going to be downed by Marco Noriega at the 43-yard line, and that's where the San Benito will begin their first possession of the second half.
Yeah, you golfers out there, what do you call that?
Some bite.
A bite? Yeah, it did. It hit that field turf and at about the 40 and withdrew about 3 yards there. Now, you like to see that around the goal line, but out in the middle of the field, you don't want it.
Yeah. So San Benito's going to send 3 receivers wide to the right. And they've got Reta in at quarterback to start the second half. And that's a quick pass to Keith Guajardo.
Yeah, just up the seam there.
They're going to say it's incomplete.
Oh, wow. But I did say that I thought they would play one series. As a coach, that was what I would do. I'd go one series with your starters, and if everything goes well, get them out of there.
Same formation. This time they're going to hand the ball off to Harper. And look who just gets through the line and drops him for a loss.
Yeah, Mr. Marco Noriega, number 13, is a junior. A good offseason, a good weight program, and he'll just be that much better in a year. But what a great season Marco Noriega is having for the Panther defense.
So that's going to be a loss of 3, and that'll bring up a 3rd down and 13 for the Greyhounds. Reta looking for a receiver, and he got a little bit of late pressure there. Wasn't able to deliver the ball to his tight end, Leroy Garcia. So that's an incomplete pass. That'll bring up a 4th down for the Greyhounds, and they send out their punt unit.
Well, let me tell you what. You didn't end up the first half with your starters on the field. Then they sat around for 28 minutes at halftime. Then they came out and said the score is 50-7. So mentally, I'm sure Coach Gomez is not happy about the way they went back on the field, San Benito. But it's going to be 4th down, and it looks like a pure punt formation for the first time tonight.
Yeah, Brandon Valadez on the punt for the Greyhounds. Good snap, little rugby-style kick, and it's a good one. It's going to be fielded at the 23-yard line by Dena. Dena, with a couple of moves, is going to bring it out to about the 27, and that's where the Panthers will begin their next offensive series.
Yeah, that was a little sneaky return there by Devin Dena. He snuck between the 2 San Benito Greyhounds and made about 5 yards on that return. Nice job. Again, another young man, a junior for the Panther.
So 1st and 10 for the Panthers from their own 28-yard line. Marco Leal in at quarterback. Dena, the lone receiver, to the top of your screen. Granados split wide to the bottom of your screen. Handoff is to De Santiago, looking for some running room. Can't seem to find anything and gets to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, the defensive line for San Benito on the linebacker level, that was number 27 again, Ryan Reza. They're just controlling the line of scrimmage. He's actually playing more of a defensive end position than he is a linebacker right now. So, 44, 94, those guys, they're doing a great job up front.
So here we go. Looks like Leal is changing the play. Hands the ball off to De Santiago. Tried to make a move to the left and come back to his right. Gets across the 25. Gets across the 30, to about the 32-yard line. Good positive yards, good strong running there from De Santiago.
And once again, 27 right in the middle of the defensive play.
So 3rd down for the Panthers, 3rd and about 7. Leal, the quarterback, Villarreal in motion. Gets the ball to Dena, quick screen, breaks a tackle, spin move to the 35-yard line, going to be about 2 yards short of the 1st down.
Well, he did a good job of getting the defender, number 16, Alec Prieto, to miss him in the hole, but it's going to end up being 4th and about 3 in this field position. I've got to believe the punter's coming out.
Yeah, they are bringing out Moreno. So the Panthers on to punt here in the 3rd quarter, trailing the Greyhounds. I think they got all their personnel ready and set. It's a good snap. Greyhounds show no pressure. Castilleja takes this one at about the 32, breaks a tackle. Ball is on the ground. Ball is loose.
I think San Benito got it, Joe. Good job back there by the Panther cover team, but it looks like San Benito comes up with it.
Yeah, it looks like Reza is the last guy coming out of that pile there with the football at the 35-yard line, and that's where the Greyhounds will begin with the football.
You know, when you're a good football team, when you things just seem to bounce your way. That's a couple times tonight that the ball has bounced right to the Greyhounds. And let's see what the Panthers got here defensively on this drive.
Well, the Greyhounds send out their starting unit again. Tyrone bubbles out to his right, takes the pass from Reta, breaks a tackle, and gets to about the 39-yard line, 4 yards on that quick pass from Reta, 3 yards because they're spotted at the 38 from Reta to Harper.
Yeah, Andrew Elgin knifes across, makes the play on Harper.
3-man front for the Panthers. Andrew Elgin in on the blitz. Reta gets rid of the ball. It is caught by Keith Guajardo. A good play there because Andrew Elgin came off his safety position on a blitz, and Reta was able to pick up that read and gets the ball off quickly to Keith Guajardo. And a no huddle, and he gets rid of the ball again. Reta does quickly, and it is caught by Isaiah Trevino on his seat at the 38-yard line of the Panthers.
Well, San Benito never huddles, but they changed tempos. And after that big play there, they caught Weslaco looking at the sideline and went quick.
So the Greyhounds, Reta really taking advantage of what he sees on the field. And, of course, these are plays that they practice because, of course, playoffs are just a couple of weeks away. And you want to be ready. Reta, the quarterback, pass in the direction of Isaiah Trevino, and is caught for a Greyhound touchdown.
Yeah, once again, the people that they count on to make plays are making plays tonight. Reta has had an outstanding game so far. Of course, Trevino and Harper. Those guys you'll read in the paper as all Valley-type players. Harper probably will have a shot at playing college football at some level. Reta possibly also. Trevino also.
Well, they're going to try an extra point here. Fernando Perez on to attempt. Trevino is the holder. Good snap, good hold. Kick is up, it's away, and it is good. So we are in the third quarter, and the Greyhounds have extended their lead. They are now up on the Weslaco Panthers by a score of 57-7. And I got to say, pretty much we're done with the starters from San Benito now.
Well, yeah, that, like I said, that would be my goal. You get a series or two into the third period, because I've seen really good teams going to the playoffs. You can look at last year's Vela team. I don't know that their starters played fourth quarter at all last year. They get in the first round against number 4 seed 32-6A Wesco East and get worn out in the fourth quarter because they haven't had to play the fourth quarter. So being in a meat grinder district, being sharp going into the playoffs, but also being healthy going into the playoffs are all important things.
You know, I'm glad you say that, Coach, because I watched a documentary not too long ago on Refugio football and how they've been blowing everybody out. And they asked the coach why he did that. Why did he keep his starters in so long? He says, because once we get to the quarterfinals and the semis, my players haven't played that much to where they have played 4 quarters of football.
Right. Well, it comes down to conditioning, comes down to a lot of things late in the ball game, and you haven't had to do it. And the team metal sharpens metal. So playing all 4 quarters and playing a tough 4 quarters conditions you and readies you for a playoff run. He's going to return this one.
Evan Margot takes this one at about the 27-yard line, and he's got a return set up for him, runs behind it, and brings this one out to about the 32.
Yeah, nice again on the little bloop kickoff. They're going to get good field position. So, you're as a coach, you're playing a fine line between staying healthy and having respect for your opponents by not running up the score, but also being fair to your own players by letting them play a little deeper into the ball game. But in another way, you're being disloyal to the backups that never get to play, keeping them off the field. So there's a balancing act you do as a coach when you're getting ready for the playoffs.
So the Panthers will take over after the kick and the return at their 33-yard line. Leal is in at quarterback, and he's going to hand the ball off to De Santiago, and De Santiago will get to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, little or nothing there. Number 26, I'm seeing some new numbers on the field, Joe. So San Benito has gone to their second-line defense. One of the defensive linemen's got a big old club on his right arm there. Looks like number 28.
Yeah, that's Hector Peña.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the old proverbial cast covered up with foam and got a club. And there's a whole bunch of new guys. I don't see 27 anymore. I don't see number 56 anymore. So you may be on to the second group of the San Benito defense.
And they've got 3 down linemen. Leal rolls to his right, passes on the way, and the pass is incomplete.
Yeah, maybe a little high there. San Benito had good coverage on it. But right now the Panthers need to find a way to move the ball.
Jaden Cavazos was the intended receiver. That one's incomplete. So that'll bring up a 3rd down and 10 for the Panthers. Leal looking over to the sideline. Dena wide to the top of your screen. Granados at the bottom of your screen. Throws the ball in the direction of Granados, and that one is a little too high.
Well, there was a rusher coming from an inside gap that was almost right in his face as he released that ball. So Marco throwing the ball under duress there, a little bit high. Here comes Frank again, Francisco Moreno to punt for Weslaco.
So here in the 3rd quarter, Weslaco Panthers trailing the San Benito Greyhounds, and Francisco Moreno on to punt. Low snap. Moreno does a good job of picking that one up and punting it away. And this time it gets a Panther bounce. Castilleja takes it at about the 31-yard line, and he is met immediately and hit very hard by Roy Trevino.
Yeah, Roy kind of blew that up, did a nice job on coverage there. San Benito, let's see who they come out with at quarterback, running back, etc. here on this series.
Well, when they had the second group in, they had, of course, number 81, who we don't have on our roster, and Morales in at running back. And it looks like they are back to that combination there.
Well, I heard the first name is Brandon, I believe, by the PA announcer, but I didn't catch his last name.
Well, quarterback sets up to pass after he takes a snap, doesn't have anybody open, tucks the ball, and the ball is on the ground, but I think they're going to say that he was down.
And even if he wasn't down, big number 30, who is still in the game, Marcelino Morales, he's like the Lone Ranger in there now with a bunch of new clean jerseys still in the ball game.
So they're going to pick up about a yard on that one, bring up a 2nd down for the Greyhounds. Quarterback's going to keep it. This time they have a different quarterback in, and it's Brandon Valadez, and that's why you heard the name Brandon. It wasn't 81. This time it's 80.
Okay, well, I was looking, I thought it was 81, and then I was trying to hear the name, and Brandon Valadez would be it, number 80.
So Brandon in at quarterback. Snap, pass, incomplete. That one was in the direction of Jason Ramirez. Do you see a flag on the field, Coach?
I think there may have been movement.
Okay.
I'm not sure on which side. Let's see. I guess not.
Yeah, I had my eyes on the top of the screen as I saw the play develop in that direction.
I thought you could have called it on the defense or the offense. I thought it was one of those situations where it's come down to who moved first. And I don't see the flag at all, so it's going to be 4th down. Doesn't look like San Benito's in any kind of hurry. Are they going to take a delay game and then punt? I'm not sure what's going on here.
I think they just called the timeout. They took a timeout on the field as they let that play clock go down to 1 second before they decide to call that timeout. Well, here in the 3rd quarter, it is the San Benito Greyhounds 57, your Weslaco Panthers 7. The Greyhounds just take a timeout as they are faced with 4th down for only the 2nd time here tonight.
Yeah, and these great pictures you're seeing are from the camera of our buddy Vinny Barry. Good job, Vinny. And I'd like to again thank Val Zamora for the editing of this game. And next week, the Panthers will return home for the senior night and the walk and all the things that come with that to face the Los Fresnos Falcons. And you'll get that live audio on Facebook coming from Bobby Lackey Stadium.
Yeah, so if you don't follow K-West on Facebook, we want to encourage you to do that because home games do stream live, audio only, on Facebook here from the K-West Facebook page. A high but short punt from the San Benito Greyhound punter, Valadez, it takes a Panther bounce, and it is down at about the 46-yard line. And the Panthers will have the ball in excellent field position.
Well, it's obvious that San Benito doesn't punt a whole bunch. And it's also obvious that when they do punt, they don't use their backup very often because we know the quarterback, Retta, was the one punting early in the game. So this guy is the backup quarterback, I'm guessing, number 80.
And the backup punter.
Which comes together, I guess, in their setting. Marco Leal back in with Di Santiago.
Granados at the top of your screen, Dena at the bottom. They're going to send Cavazos in motion. Leal looking for a receiver in the middle of the screen, middle of the field, and there's going to be a penalty flag. Pass in the direction of Dena, but there's going to be defensive pass interference there.
Yeah, number 39 got there a little early, and he's another one that we don't have on our roster. So we apologize to anybody who may have relatives in San Benito that is seeing this on K-West. We would give them credit if we knew who they were.
They're going to march off 15 yards. Ball at the 31-yard line, 1st and 10 for your Panthers. Two receivers right, two to the left. De Santiago in the backfield with the quarterback, Leal. Snap is away. Leal drops back, whistles quickly here. We'll wait to see what the referee tells us. That's going to be another penalty charge to the Panthers.
Yeah. False start, you're still trying to play. You're still trying to get a jump on your block. You anticipate a little bit, and you get caught with a false start. I haven't got to say this publicly, but I know you're one of the biggest fans. Way to go, Houston Astros.
Hey, I watched that game, enjoyed it. I was excited.
Where were you?
I was at home.
Oh, you weren't somewhere around the world when you were watching that?
So here we go, Leal with the ball. Gets the ball off to Dena. Dena trying to stay on his feet. But a great stop there by the defensive back, number 39, who's not on our roster, of grabbing Dena by the jersey and not letting him go.
Yeah, back in the old day when they had the breakaway jerseys, Dena would have ran right out of that. But they're making those high-quality jerseys now, and he got pulled down by it.
Yeah, Coach, I was actually on a ship. You're right. I didn't want to say that out loud, but yeah, I was on a ship watching the World Series on my way back, and just in time to be here for Friday night action, so thank you for that.
Awesome.
De Santiago in motion to the left, but we've got another flag on the play.
Yeah, well, I had to mention it. You've got the shirt, you got the shoes, you got the socks. I'm guessing you're wearing the Astro underwear. And you've really been following it. And I know you've been a lifelong, back to the Astrodome days, I'm guessing.
Yes.
And, for everybody that's a fan, good job. Anytime you can get a love, especially after the flooding and stuff in Houston, it's great to see. And the Texans were doing so well, and they lose J.J. Watt, and then they turn around and lose their quarterback. So
Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, so some crazy stuff going on. Looks like we're going to have a Panther timeout.
Yeah.
Coach Salinas wants to talk to him about poise, I'm sure. Hey, settle down, relax. We're fine. We go on hut, all that kind of stuff. You're not mad at anybody. You just want to get your brain back kind of in order, regroup a little bit. We got a whole nother quarter to play. We're still late in the third period here. So I'm sure they're just trying to make sure, hey, every play counts. Every play is important. He built that program at Vela from nothing. And he's got a head start at Weslaco because there's some really good kids there. Got a good coaching staff. He's just got to get them, they use the word culture a lot, Joe. So he's got to get the Salinas Panther culture
built.
Heading in the direction that he and the rest of the coaching staff believes it should go. You're going to have some of these young men, you're going to have some of them playing baseball, maybe basketball, wrestling, powerlifting, running track, and then, of course, all summer doing off-season 7-on-7. All those things are going to benefit them as we move into the future. And did we get another flag?
Yes, we did. And one of the things that people fail to recognize is that they're going from a slot T offensive style running to a passing formation or a passing style offensive scheme. And so that's something that you don't learn overnight. Marco Leal with an attempted pass in the direction of Cavazos, and that's incomplete. Good defensive coverage there by the Greyhounds, Daniel Garcia.
Yeah, that's like dropping one of our great-grandparents into the year 2017 and, see the computers and see a cell phone. And
the iPhone 10.
And all of those things are foreign. Everything you know about a car has changed. Everything you know about a phone has changed. And that's what they're going through right now, a complete culture change.
And you said, they're going to have to learn the new Salinas culture, and it's going to have its bumps and bruises along the way.
Oh, sure. Anytime you go into a program, it's a re-indoctrination, a new way of thinking, a new way, the way we break a huddle, the way a practice begins and ends. All those things have changed. If you're a junior or senior at Wesco High School, everything you learned in 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade is out the window, other than a touchdown is still worth 7 points. That kind of deal.
And the football still looks the same.
Right.
So here we go. Punt is away. Moreno doing a great job punting here tonight. Ball takes a Greyhound bounce and is stopped by and picked up by Roy Trevino at the 21-yard line. And we'll see who the Greyhounds send out to quarterback this next offensive series.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. But, you got to believe, you got to be patient. Coach Salinas is a quality man. He's doing things the right way. The kids know how to act. All the things you hope for from a program, I think, is taking place. So fans of the Panthers, be patient, and you'll have a winner at Wesco High in a year or two.
Valadez is the quarterback, and he's going to run a jet sweep, hands it off to Keith Guajardo. Keith Guajardo looking for some running room, turns a corner, and he is stopped after about a 7-yard pickup. About a 4-yard pickup.
Yeah, we've seen number 12 in the game. He probably doesn't get the ball a whole lot, so they're giving, even though he's kind of a starter, he's getting the opportunity to carry the ball some here.
So here we go, 2nd down for the Greyhounds. Valadez decides he's going to keep it. Has some running room. Turns out to his left. He's across the 30, across the 40, 45. He's at midfield, breaking some tackles, making some moves inside the 45 to about the 43-yard line is where he is finally brought down, and that's going to be 1st and 10 for the Greyhounds.
Yeah, young man's a good athlete. He's listed as a wide receiver, so he's a good enough athlete to play wide out in this offense, and also a good enough athlete to jump back and play quarterback.
42-yard line is where they're going to officially spot this one. 1st and 10 for the Greyhounds. Handoff is made to Kyler Castilleja. Kyler Castilleja, his name has been called a few times tonight as the punt return man. He's now in at running back.
Well, he is listed wide receiver running back, but it looks like we're going to have a hold on San Benito, and that'll bring that back. But he's been on the field and definitely moves well with the ball in his hand. And that's going to bring us back around midfield, isn't it?
It's going to be on the Greyhound side of the football. That's a 10-yard penalty. So we'll repeat 1st down, but this time it's going to be 1st and 20. So Valadez, the quarterback, 3 receivers to his right to the bottom of the screen. They're going to send one in motion. He fakes the handoff. He's going to keep it, and he's going to be brought down after losing 2 yards.
Well, underneath all of that was Marco Noriega. On the top of it, number 94, Jesse Ramos. A good finish on that play, and that's another loss down for San Benito, and it's going to be second and really long.
Second and about 22, but that buzzer has told us that we've completed 3 quarters of play here in San Benito. And at the end of 3 quarters of play, it is the San Benito Greyhounds 57. Your Weslaco Panthers 7. We'll be back with 4th quarter action right here on K-West.
To honor one fan.
Before Clarissa Renteria was a dentist, she was a student at Weslaco ISD. She was a cheerleader, played softball, and started college early through the dual enrollment program. She graduated from UTPA before earning her degree from the University of Texas School of Dentistry in Houston. Now she is Dr. Renteria, creating beautiful smiles at Professional Dental Group. Weslaco ISD is home to some of the most prestigious graduates in the Rio Grande Valley. For Dr. Clarissa Renteria, WISD was the right choice.
Welcome back to Bobby Morrow Stadium as we are just ready to start the 4th quarter. Right here on K-West, I am Joe Aguilar, joined by the coach, John Boswell. First play here in the 4th quarter is a pass to Jason Ramirez.
Just a little outside screen. Wesco, good job defensively. And now it's 3rd and half a mile.
It's going to be 3rd and about 20 from there. 2 receivers right, 2 to the left. They're going to send Keith Guajardo in motion. Brandon Valadez rolling out to his right. Gets rid of the ball, and it's in and out of the hands. The intended target on that play is going to be Francisco Garcia.
Actually, a good throw, a good attempt at a catch. He couldn't pull it in. Good job, Wesco defense. This should bring up a punt.
4th down for the Greyhounds.
Fourth down situation.
Remember, Valadez punted the ball last time, and he's going to stay on the field to punt again this time. This time it's a good punt. Fielded at the 23 by Evan Margot. Nice little return to about the 35.
He didn't go down real smooth there, Joe, but he's had a good senior season also. Evan Margot's a guy that was mainly a baseball guy that they talked out to be the long snapper. And he started making tackles on the punt team and stuff, and now he's a starting safety for the Weslaco Panthers. So, nice job by Evan.
Yeah, Evan, one of those guys with good size. He stands probably 6'1", maybe 6'2". So he's, as you said, a good baseball player, but he's just a good athlete.
And you know what? He may only be a junior. I'm not sure.
Evan's a senior.
He is. Okay, I got it right. His grandpa's a heck of a nice guy, too, Dr. Manning.
Yes, I've known Evan for many, many years. And, of course, I know his grandparents, Dr. Manning, and, of course, his wife, Marty Manning, as well.
And Matthew Carzales with a carry there for Weslaco on the jet sweep. Loses yards, Joe.
Yeah, he's dropped for a 4-yard loss. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 14 for your Panthers.
You know, we're getting a pretty steady diet of Marco Leal at quarterback. I wonder if something happened to Elijah. You know, he was running the ball so much, and he made a tackle on a punt and didn't get up real sound. I don't like speculating, but I just wondered why he hasn't been rotating in.
Well, on that 2nd down play, Leal takes the snap, hands it off to Matthew De Santiago, and he gets back to the line of scrimmage. That'll bring up a 3rd down and 14 for your Panthers. Looks like they're going to slow things down. Marco Leal looking over to the sideline. Looks like he's got what he needs. Panthers now line up in formation. They're going to send 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Down at the bottom of your screen is Devin Dena. De Santiago in the backfield. He's in a state of block. Leal with some time. Gets rid of the ball in the direction of Dena. But that one's a little underthrown, and almost coming away with an interception is Hector Avalos.
You know, he did have some time, but right there when he decided to release the ball, there was a defender right in his face. So he couldn't really step into that throw. Luckily, it was not intercepted, but it was in the area where 23 had a shot at it.
So 4th down for your Panthers. They're going to send on the punt unit. Francisco Moreno is the punter for your Panthers. A little bit high on the snap, but not something that you couldn't get your hands on. Punt is away. Castilleja takes it at about the 34-yard line, but there are multiple flags on the field, and we'll wait to see what the referee tells us.
Yeah, it looked like a full laundry hamper full of flags out there. I want to say 4.
Anybody that had a flag threw it.
Right. I saw a guy come out of the stands and throw one. There was an extra one.
They seem to be all pointing at the same area. So I think they all saw the same thing.
Here in the return. Block in the back. Block in the back. Receiving team. Number 14. 10 yard. First down.
Yeah, they were all pointing at the same area, so to me that led me to believe there's only one infraction. Because one of the things that you don't want to see when you see so many flags on the field are multiple infractions, because that just goes to show you that there's a lot of frustration on the field. You want, kids to play a good game. You want them to display good sportsmanship. So the Greyhounds with the football after the penalty is assessed inside the 30-yard line, 1st and 10 from their own 28.
San Benito, they put all those award stickers on their helmet, kind of a la Harlingen. And a group of guys on the field right now have pure gold helmets. Almost no stickers. So this is definitely a bunch of guys that don't play a lot.
So the Greyhounds lining up with 3 receivers wide to the left. And the handoff is made to Jason Navarro, and he's still on his feet. Now the ball.
Quarterback kept that, Joe. He fooled the camera, he fooled me, and he fooled you.
Yes, he fooled all of us.
And he really fooled us because we can't identify who he is.
Other than the fact we know he wears jersey number 81.
Right.
But I thought that ball was taken by Jason Navarro, and it wasn't. This time the handoff is made to Jason Navarro. He's inside Panther territory, finally brought down at the 46.
Yeah, you were just foreseeing the future there is what you were doing.
So he picks up about 5 yards, bringing up a 2nd down and 5 from the 46. Looks like the Greyhounds will slow it down a little bit here. One receiver to the right, 3 to the left. 81 keeps it. Hit at the line of scrimmage, but able to elude those tackles and get to the 41-yard line, where I think that's going to be another Greyhound 1st down.
Yeah, and the tackle by number 38 for Weslaco, Josue Aldape.
3 down linemen for the Panthers. Hands the ball off to Navarro. Navarro inside the 35. Well, they're going to say he's at the 35 is where he was brought down.
Once again, Roy Trevino, number 2, underneath that pile, caused that ball carrier to go down. And you're seeing some different guys in the game for the Panther defense, but you're also seeing a lot of the mainstay. I still see 94. I still see 28. Still see 2. So there's a good number of starters still on the field.
So 2nd down for the Greyhounds. Navarro, the ball carrier, going to pick up about a yard on that play. Brought down by Seth Sanchez.
And underneath that whole thing, again, number 28, Andrew Olguin. So, some of your performers are still out there performing. They are starting to run in some people. Let me tell you what, when you're looking down the road, you're looking in next year, there's 2 thoughts. You want to reward seniors for hard work and good career by getting them on the field, and you want the young kids to get in there for experience because, they'll get a chance to play San Benito again.
Yes. So here we go, 81, the quarterback, keeps the ball, breaks some tackles. He's inside the 20. And he's brought down at about the 15-yard line by Jacob Bailly.
Yeah, he showed some athletic ability there, number 45, Bailly. Kind of went over the top of the quarterback. Looked like he may do a horse collar. He reached over and made it legal and got a tackle out of the thing.
But also showed some quickness and speed by catching up to him.
Oh, sure. 81's a good athlete. I just wish I knew who he was.
This time the handoff is made to Navarro. Navarro inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. San Benito moving the ball again here in the fourth quarter.
Sam Pettis and Christian Flores on the tackle. That's 79 and 92.
79 just ran onto the field. That's junior Samuel Perez.
And playing corner out there right now is number 16, Jaden Kanab, whose brother Peyton, I believe, had a season-ending knee injury.
Quarterback fakes the jet sweep. I don't know if that was by design because the ball ended up on the ground, so he ends up keeping the ball. He tries to make a move, but he's dropped for a 1-yard loss back to the 10-yard line.
You know, these group of guys, snapping, speed sweeps, on the shotgun and making a handoff, they don't get a lot of reps in practice doing this. So you're going to see some mishaps possibly, but right now, 81's doing a pretty good job of moving the team.
He's got him at the 10-yard line. Snap, pass, incomplete. Good job there defensively by Tommy Esquivel and Jaden Kanab. Flag on the play, and we just heard the referee an offsides penalty called against the Panthers. So they'll march that one off, and it'll be an automatic first down for the Greyhounds. First and goal from the 5.
First and goal to go.
Jet sweep, ball is handed off to Francisco Garcia, who's in for a 5-yard touchdown for the Greyhounds, and now the score is 63-7.
Yeah, just your standard speed sweep. He gets the edge, he turns up, scores the touchdown. San Benito will line up to kick an extra point, going for point number 64, I believe.
Yes. So they're bringing in the field goal kicker, Fernando Perez, on to attempt an extra point. We've seen him here more of late. Early on in the game, they were trying to convert the 2-point conversion, and now here of late, they've been sending in their field goal unit. A little low on the snap, but a good job there by the holder to get it onto the tee, and the kick is good. So here in the fourth quarter, it is now the San Benito Greyhounds 64, your Weslaco Panthers 7.
So here in the fourth quarter, you're just trying to make sure your kids stay on focus, stay on task, stay motivated. Let me tell you what, you get in a game like this and you relax, that's when really some chance for injury takes place, because the other team's got a bunch of young guys on the field right now that are excited about being out there. Plus, they're not going to be as skilled as the first team group, so you're more likely to have someone fall on your legs or fall into the knee or that kind of deal. So you really want to stay motivated and stay involved in this game mentally, emotionally, and physically. 1, to gain from it, and 2, for safety.
Absolutely. You want to make sure you stay safe because, of course, football is a contact sport, and you've got bodies flying all over the place when you got 22 players looking for that one pigskin that's out there.
Yeah, and I'm going to agree with you. Football is a contact sport, but to be honest with you, ballroom dancing is a contact sport. Football is a collision sport.
Collision sport. Yeah,
if I contact your car, I'm probably not hurting it, but if I collide with it, I probably put a pretty good dent in it.
I like the way you put that, Coach. That one is caught at the 12-yard line by Cavazos, and he's got some running room, and he breaks a few tackles, gets to about the 43-yard line, and looks like someone grabbed his face mask.
Well, the kicker got over there, and he got over there and said, wait, Coach, you told me I had to wear these pads, but you didn't tell me I was going to ever have to hit anybody. And he got over there with Cavazos, didn't know what to do with him, and grabbed him pretty much 2 hands right there on the face mask. swung him around out of bounds. That's going to be the personal foul face mask, and it's going to be first down in great field position for the Panthers.
Yeah, that might bring them to about the 35-yard line.
Doing their return. Personal foul. Face mask. 19. Kicking team. 15 yards. First down.
So they're going to march off 15 yards to the end of that run. A great run there by Jaden Cavazos. That kid's just a sophomore.
Yeah, there's a good number of sophomores and juniors on the field, but you can't say enough about these seniors. This is not the kind of senior year that they hope for, but they've kept sound, they've kept honest, they've kept working hard. They've been good leaders. There goes Matt DeSantiago, who's one of those guys who excelled in both offenses, Joe.
Yes. And he's going to pick up 8 yards on that carry, so that'll bring up a 2nd down and 2 for the Panthers. And he comes up limping.
And here comes the training staff for the Panthers. Those guys do a great job. Chuck, Destin, Alejandra, the training staff for Weslaco High do an outstanding job of taking care of those athletes over there. Coach Salinas and his coaching staff, they just need to keep their heads high.
Welcome back to Bobby Morrow Stadium here in San Benito, Texas. K-West bringing you another exciting night of Panther football. I am Joe Aguilar, joined by the coach, John Boswell. Good run by De Santiago, picks up 8 yards. 2nd and 2 for your Panthers at the 27-yard line of the Greyhounds.
And it looks like, I hate seeing that, the way Matt's played all year. It looks like Matt De Santiago got a little dinged up. In at running back looks like number 23, Jeremy Coronado. He's a junior.
Yeah, they bring in Coronado to play Santiago. He's inside the 25, inside the 20, and his first carry, a good one, all the way down to the 16-yard line.
Yeah, that's a good job. And for those of you, you got Peyton Canavo, who'll be back from injury next year. And there you got number 23, Coronado. So there are some running backs in the stable. Of course, you'll get back Jacob Cavazos in a year. And then most of the receivers, Cavazos, Dena, etc., are underclassmen.
Granados.
Yeah, Granados also.
Good there, good little move there from Coronado, and he's going to bring this one inside the 5 to about the 2-yard line. They're going to spot it at the 1. So Coronado comes in with 2 impressive runs.
Well, you got maybe a little more side than Matt DeSantiago, but the defense isn't going to key on him like they do, Matt, because nobody's sure who he is.
And this time he runs tough inside the tackles. He is hit hard behind the line of scrimmage, and he may lose a yard on that play.
Yeah, he got up in there. I'm an old school guy, but when you get down here in this field position, why don't you put in a fullback? It looks like maybe they have here. So, I'm old school. You do it your way. There's 800 ways to do it.
Well, they bring in a couple of extra blockers, and they mow down that defensive front of San Benito and give the ball to Coronado, who's in for a Panther touchdown.
Yeah, I see big number 80, Isaac Burial, tight end, in there in that heavy set, doing a good job along with Seth Sanchez. And, of course, number 88, Barones. And almost all those guys are back. I think Seth's a junior also. So that whole group there is back. Good job, Weslaco, coming through here in the 4th quarter for a touchdown.
Francisco Moreno on for the point after, and that one is good. So the Panthers, with their 2nd touchdown of the night, trail San Benito by a score of 64 28-14. Coach, good running there from Coronado.
Oh, yeah, good change-up coming in there. He's got fresh legs. He's hungry. It looks like he's going on to the kickoff team now. Now, people are going to think I'm crazy, but as a coach, to show your team you haven't quit, do you think onside kicking?
I don't see why not. You know, you want to do something to keep these kids excited, and as you just mentioned, or you used the word hungry.
Right. But you're telling them that we're going to fight till the end. We're going to try to steal a possession here. I'm not saying they're going to onside, and I'm not even saying that's the right thing to do, but is it something that you think about?
I don't see why not. And then it looks like San Benito has a return team on. So kick is a squib in the middle of the field. Still on the ground, bounces out to the right. It's picked up by Valadez, and he's going to return this one for just a few yards to about the 22-yard line.
And then I see Dana, one of your starting wideouts, covering a kickoff, making a nice play there. Excellent hustle by Devin Dana there. Good job.
So San Benito will begin this next offensive series at their own 23-yard line. Good little squib kick there by Moreno.
Yeah, the other thought is, now that you're on defense, do you want to put some pressure on this young quarterback? I got to believe that San Benito is going to try to run the clock out, but they may let him throw a little bit. We'll have to see.
Three down linemen for the Panthers.
And they've been in that most of the game.
Handoff made to Jason Navarro.
Yeah, he ran underneath the defensive end. You know, when you go to a three-man line, you have a bubble down over the guard on each side. When you're in a four-man line, the only bubble is right there over the center. So there's two places to go, kind of. The linebackers really have to do a good job of staying home and stepping up.
Well, 81 is in at quarterback.
The mystery man.
The mystery man.
Greyhound fans, next week it will be the Battle of the Arroyos right here at Bobby Ball Stadium.
Quarterback is going to keep it, looking for running room across the left side, and he's going to run out of bounds at about the 46, 47-yard line, but there is a flag on the play.
In a position where you may have holding on the wide receiver there. Let's see what they call.
And you're absolutely correct.
Holding. Number 12, offense. 10 yards, first down.
So they're going to take that one back. You know, the one thing that I found kind of funny on that play is that the quarterback ran out of bounds. Usually you want to tell the quarterback, once you need to stop on the field of play. Take a slide, something on the field of play.
Well, you know, we don't know how much work this quarterback gets. We don't even know what his name is. We don't know what grade he's in. So that might not be yet to where this quarterback is, to where you're doing the finite things like get out of bounds or stay in bounds type stuff. It might be just the fact that take the handoff and make the handoff, make the fake, etc.
Move the ball forward.
Right, yeah. Don't fumble it. Don't throw it to the wrong guys. Get back there and have fun.
So second down and about 7 for the Greyhounds. They've got two receivers split to each side of the field. Low snap, and Jason Navarro is just going to fall on the ball at about the 36-yard line. So they're going to lose about 6, maybe 7 yards on that play.
You know, and Joe, I want to take just a second again to thank our camera guy, Vinny Berry, and Val Zamora for helping us out with this broadcast. But I also want to shout out to a birthday coming up soon to Darlene Gracia, the First Lady of K-West. Got a birthday coming up.
Well, we'll definitely be looking out for that and looking out for maybe some cake and an invite to the party, Coach.
Well, maybe, you know, and I hear it's like an anniversary of her 21st, but Joe, looks like that's the ball game.
Yeah, that buzzard has finally sounded, marking the end of the game. The final score here at Bobby Morrow Stadium in San Benito is the San Benito Greyhounds 64, your Weslaco Panthers 14. The Greyhounds stay undefeated. They will be at the Battle of the Arroyo next week as they take on Harlingen. Your Weslaco Panthers come home to end their season at Bobby Lackey Stadium as they take on the Los Fresnos Falcons. Coach, great game here. Good calling tonight. Want to thank our cameraman extraordinaire, Vinny Berry, for all his great work. And, of course, Val Zamora for all his great work as well. For the coach, John Boswell, I am Joe Aguilar saying good night from Bobby Morrow Stadium, where your final score is the San Benito Greyhounds 64, your Weslaco Panthers 14. We'll see you guys next week.
Good night, everybody.